Okay, so here we are going to take the solution of 20% sugar water and we're going to get it into our pipette to transfer it into another piece of glassware, making it easier to transport it into a beaker later on. Remember to get your volume at eye level, recording from the bottom of the meniscus.
So a meniscus can either be concave like this one. When you try to read a graduated cylinder or whatever it may be, you need to read it at eye level because the molecules create a meniscus, whether they adhere to the sides of the glass or they try to adhere to it themselves. If you were reading this one, you would get down to eye level, say your liquid stopped here, you would look at it from there and come to the conclusion of how much it is. So for example, this one, if you were looking at eye level, would be 10.6 millimeters, and that's just so you could have more accuracy. And after getting the volume of the 20% solution, which was 9.09 milliliters, we need to get the mass. First, you need to weigh your beaker with nothing inside, then calculate the difference in mass with the solution inside it. Once we have the mass and volume, we can calculate the density, which is D equals grams over milliliters, and so the density equals 1.25. Make sure that you are recording all your data, calculations, mass and volume in a lab notebook like we are, so you can keep track of your calculations. Then we dilute the 20% solution to a 10% solution by adding 9.09 milliliters of water, which is the same volume of the sugar solution. So now the volume is 18.18, and we find the mass the same way as before, and so that equals 21.75, and that means the density is 1.2. The 5% solution, we are doing the same thing and diluting it, adding 9.09 more milliliters of water. Since we know the volume is 27.27, all we need now is the mass, and we get that the same way we've been getting it before. Then the calculation of the density is 1.18.
Dilution is the process of taking a solvent and adding that to a concentrated solution in order to make it go down in concentration while the amount of solute stays the same. A stock solution is just a pre-mixed, concentrated solution that will be diluted down for actual use in your experiment. In the equation C1 times V1 equals C2 times V2, your C1 is the original percent of whatever stock solution you're working with. V1 is the amount of liquid that you take from that in milliliters or whatever you're working with, your initial volume. C2 is your unknown because you won't know that until you solve the equation out. And your V2 is whatever volume of glassware that you're working with. So if you have a 25 ml beaker, 100 ml beaker, however large it is, that is your final volume, because after you add your water in, that's what you're going to get. And then you just solve the equation out, and that will give you the exact percent of the new solution that you just made.
We measured the volume, mass, and density of the unknown solution 242. We saw that it was the same as the 10% solution and figured out that that was the concentration.